There's an old saying that the most terrifying horrors are not the ones born from fantasy, but the ones that could happen in real life. Cujo is the perfect example of that idea. No ghosts, no witches, no supernatural monsters, just one dog, one deadly disease, and a chain of unfortunate events that spirals into an unstoppable nightmare. In a quiet American town, life seems as peaceful as ever. Neighbors know each other by name. Children play in the streets. Farms stretch across the countryside, and every day feels almost identical to the last. Among the town's familiar faces is a massive Saint Bernard named Cujo. Everyone knows him as a gentle giant, a loyal family dog who loves children and greets strangers with a wagging tail. His presence brings comfort rather than fear. But fate has something far darker in store. One afternoon, while chasing a rabbit into an abandoned burrow, Cujo is attacked by a rabid bat. The bat bites him before disappearing into the darkness. It seems like nothing more than a small accident. But that single moment changes everything. At first, no one notices anything unusual. A small wound on his nose. A little fatigue. Nothing alarming. Then the symptoms begin to grow. He becomes restless. He loses his appetite. His temper grows shorter. The warmth disappears from his eyes, replaced by something cold and unfamiliar. The rabies virus slowly attacks his brain, transforming the once loving dog into a creature driven only by pain, rage, and instinct. Across town, Donna Trenton is struggling with problems of her own. Her marriage is falling apart. Trust between her and her husband is fading. Yet she desperately tries to keep life normal for her young son, Tad. Tad is a sensitive child. He fears the dark. He imagines monsters hiding beneath his bed. He finds it difficult to sleep unless he feels completely safe. The tragic irony is that the real monster isn't hiding inside his bedroom. It's waiting outside. One day, Donna's car breaks down. The nearest place to have it repaired is the Camber family's farm, so she drives there with Tad, expecting nothing more than a routine visit. When she arrives, something feels wrong. The property is strangely silent. No one answers her calls. The doors stand open. The stillness feels unsettling. Then, she hears heavy footsteps. Cujo emerges from behind the house. But this is no longer the dog everyone remembers. His fur is covered in dirt and blood. Foam drips constantly from his mouth. His eyes are empty of recognition. Without warning, he charges straight toward her. Donna barely manages to throw herself and Tad into the car before Cujo crashes against it. And in that instant, the nightmare truly begins. The car becomes a prison. Stepping outside means certain death. Staying inside means waiting for death to arrive slowly. Hours pass. Then an entire day. Then even longer. The heat inside the vehicle becomes unbearable. The water runs out. Food disappears. Fresh air becomes scarce. Tad grows weaker with every passing hour. Donna comforts him as best she can, though deep down, she's trying just as hard to hold herself together.
Every minute drains away another piece of hope. Every attempt to start the engine ends in failure. Every thought of escaping ends with the same terrifying sight. Cujo is still there.
Watching, waiting, almost as if he knows that sooner or later she'll have no choice but to leave the car. Meanwhile, Donna's husband returns home from his business trip. He discovers that his wife and son have vanished. He begins searching everywhere. He contacts friends. He visits every place they might have gone. But a cruel series of coincidences delays him at every turn. And while he gets closer to the truth, his family is fighting for their lives. Inside the sweltering car, Tad begins to lose consciousness from dehydration and extreme heat. Donna realizes there is no time left. Every instinct tells her the end is near. But giving up is not an option. She decides there is only one way out. She grabs the first object she can use as a weapon, throws open the car door, and Cujo attacks with terrifying speed. What follows is a brutal struggle, not simply between a woman and a dog, but between a mother willing to risk everything for her child,
and an innocent animal whose mind has been completely destroyed by disease. Donna is injured. She nearly collapses, yet she refuses to stop fighting. With one final desperate act, she delivers the blow that ends the nightmare once and for all.
But survival doesn't erase trauma. A simple trip to repair a car has become a battle for life itself. An ordinary day has become a memory no one involved will ever forget. The true power of Cujo lies in its realism. There are no ghosts, no curses, no supernatural forces. The horror begins with something that could happen anywhere. One small accident, one terrible illness, a series of unfortunate decisions and cruel coincidences. And suddenly, ordinary people find themselves trapped in a nightmare with no easy escape. That is why Cujo remains one of Stephen King's most unforgettable psychological horror stories. Because it reminds us that the most terrifying nightmares often begin with the things we trust the most.